Download from YouTube, and most of all, help spread these videos to as many men as possible for the good of the brotherhood worldwide before masculine women can ban this channel. The purpose of this channel is to help and show men the Jesus way, or the only, best, easiest, and smoothest way for literally every man alive to get the most erotic, attractive wives, face, body, and essence, mind, and heart, who guarantee oral, vaginal, and anal sex as deep, long, and often as you want. Even if you already have a girlfriend, wife, or are married to a single mother, see Cure the Villain traits for how. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. Let her breast satisfy you at all times. See description of why women love villains for proof non-vaginal sex is not a sin, demonic, or perverted. And the Lord God said, for the man to be by himself is not good. I'll make for him an easier Canado, Hebrew word for helper as opposite to him. Now, having opposite traits is what makes women helpers to men. Having hero traits, dead or immortal traits physically and mentally, women's opposite traits physically and mentally, will make women their most erotic, attractive to straight men physically and mentally because opposites attract. Soon coming scientific proof women are supposed to be dead, and see Cure to Villain traits for scientific proof becoming literally immortal is possible. Opposites attract because they complete each other, make something whole, or finished, like puzzle pieces, two halves, a food recipe. Proof opposites attract because they complete each other, make something whole or finish. So this section here is stop and read. And if you're using a laptop, you can use the space bar, the longest key on this on the keyboard, to pause the video. Straight men prefer or only want women with more heroic traits physically, women's opposite traits physically, shameful or non self respecting, non self worthy, non self esteem, humiliating traits physically, the opposite of dignified traits physically to a higher degree than themselves, especially to an opposite degree, defective or dead traits physically, meaning they lack or have no self existence. They're sexual possessions that are either closer to being able to literally control, like a video game character or a car, or can literally be controlled. Were opposites. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. These are pause and reads. Straight women prefer or only want men with villainistic traits physically, man's opposite traits physically, dignified or self respecting, self worthy, self esteem, pride traits physically, the opposite of shameful traits physically, to a higher degree than themselves, especially to an opposite degree, living or mortal traits physically, or are indifferent to a man having more or less masculine traits physically and even mentally than themselves. The straightest women, since they lack or have no mind, or don't have a mind, will, emotions, needs, limits of own. The more indifferent to physical and mental traits a woman is, the straighter, more feminine she is. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. So the rest here are pause and reads. Straight men look for women's opposite traits mentally, hero traits, dead traits mentally, through women's opposite traits physically, and women do the same through men's opposite traits physically as well, as we'll soon see. Women's opposite traits physically Women who lack, defective, or don't have, dead, without self existence physically and mentally, a mind, will, emotions, needs, limits of own. They lack or have no self awareness. They experience life through their husbands and are literally controllable. Their life is about their husband's mind, will, emotions, needs, limits. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. And man shall cleave to his wife, and they shall be one flesh. Or opposites. Men traits beautiful, graceful, elegant, attractive, alluring. Women traits ugly, graceless, inelegant, unattractive, unalluring. Women are unfinished men, Aristotle. A female is an incomplete male, or as it were, a deformity, Aristotle. See descriptions of why women love villains for the rest of the opposite traits physically. It's scientifically proven that even a small dose of power changes how a person's brain operates and diminishes empathy. We have large skull. Women really are drawn to men with the dark, brooding looks that suggest they are mad, bad, or dangerous to know, according to a new study. From the moody Heathcliff in Weatherton Heights to dangerous James Bond, women are attracted to their facial features, psychologists say. Men have facial features that display the dark triad of personality traits: Machiavellianism, narcissism, and psychopathy, according to the study published in for the journal Evolution in Human Behavior. These include large skulls, solid and defined jaws, angular noses, and deep-set eyes. And women who want children show a clear preference for some of these features because, like natural selection among animals, it indicates strong genes.
Time to get away with a great deal on the.
Indicates good, strong genes and good mental as well as physical health.
There's never been a better time.
Machiavellianism is characterized by manipulation and the exploitation of others, a cynical disregard for morality, and a focus on self-interest and deception. Narcissism is characterized by grandiosity, pride, egotism, and a lack of empathy. Psychopathy is characterized by enduring antisocial behavior, impulsive selfishness, callousness, and remorselessness. So large skulls, and by that they mean a high forehead, which is too manly. We have short forehead. We have round and full forehead, too manly. Backward angle, no brow ridge. Brow ridge, the bony part above the eyes. The brow ridge forms the separation between the forehead portion itself and the roof of the eye sockets. Rounded eyebrows, bushy white unibrow, no forehead. Man, head is not wide and is long. It's too manly. A head shape condition where the head is wide in proportion to the length. The back of the head becomes flattened, causing the head to widen. 90-degree flat head. Small head, too manly. Big head, huge head. Solid and defined jaw. Solid and defined jaws. Diamond shaped face. Narrow circular shaped face with a V angled jaw and bony cheeks. Too manly. This is the V angled jaw, bony cheeks. A pear shaped face. Stop and read. Pear shaped. Stop. Oh, you know what? Okay. Wide square shaped face with short, straight forehead, fat cheeks, and straight angled jaw, and cheeks as wide as part of face. Super wide, completely square shaped face with no forehead, cheeks, or chin with literal super huge and wide smiling lips. Angular noses. Angular noses. A long nose, which is too manly. Low nasal bridge. Narrow nose, too manly. Wide nose, straight and raised, it's too masculine, which looks like this. Lowered flat nose, so the nose is like this, and then it's lowered, and then it's flat too. Big angled nose, nostrils, too manly. Small, what do you call it? Nostrils, rounded ones. The women just don't have no nose. And then this is a pause and read too. We have deep set eyes, and then we have bulging eyes. All right, so here's an example of what this looks like. And we have an even better example right here. other examples, especially right here. This is the best example. So this is another word for it, but you see the eye comes out further here compared to the normal. And then okay, we have literal baby face, men hard adult face, too manly. Appearances associated with psychopathic tendencies were looking aggressive and less happy, while those associated with machiavellianism looked dishonest. Appearances associated with psychopathic tendencies were looking aggressive and less happy, while those associated with machiavellianism looked dishonest. Baby, soft face, and then, okay, women want to look young, but do we really want to look as young as a baby? Science says yes, as many of the beauty trends we have today are patterned after baby like features. Men smart, self aware, mortal, the source of all villain, or man's opposite traits mentally. So the more you look like a baby, the harder you are, says science. Women dumb, unself aware, the source of all hero, or women's opposite traits mentally. Sexual selection has made women's more neotenous features as the favorites in men's sexual choice, but precisely the byproduct of neoteny is a smaller and less intelligent brain. Why then the most beautiful are the least intelligent? I myself am rather taken by renowned scientist J.B.S. Houtland's definition of neoteny as the preservation of embryonic and infantile traits, as well as the retardation of the developmental rates in humans. A key feature of female facial attractiveness is the extent of neotenous and like features that the face displays. In a cross-cultural study, more neotenized female faces were the most attractive to men, while less neotenized female faces were the least attractive to men, regardless of the female's actual age. Through documented cross-cultural studies, where races rated the level of attractiveness in women, it has been proven that men are more attracted to women who have a higher degree of neoteny than those whom do not. The dark triad is a trio of personalities that include psychopathy, narcissism, and machiavellianism. Psychopathy is typically marked by high intelligence, antisocial behavior, and criminal activity. So the key being high intelligence. This is the one we're looking at. High intelligence. This should show it's associated with being a man, just as psychopathic appearances were looking aggressive.
So today at therapy, I was telling my therapist traditionally the type of guys that I am interested in, and I told her extremely intelligent, very charming, but also like kind of mysterious and dark and complicated. And she said, "You know who else shares those characteristics is psychopaths."
Stop it. Get some help.
All right. She also said high intelligence, and like her therapist said, it has to do with being a psychopath. So she was spot on about that. So let's see. So now we have what else? Okay, this is a pause and read right here, and also right here. Okay. Downturn too manly. The face develops from some of the same cells as the brain during the early stages of embryo growth. This is why disorders that cause learning disabilities are sometimes associated with distinct facial features like Down syndrome, Williams syndrome. Men proud, selfish, unempathetic, materialistic, entitled, attention seeking, validation seeking, people pleasing, fame seeking, needy, desperate. Women humble, selfless, empathetic, non materialistic, unentitled, non attention seeking, non validation seeking, non people pleasing, not fame seeking, not needy, not desperate. Whoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. So this is related to the fact that women are like children. Well, they are children. Well, except in the form of babies, that is. So this verse applies to women because just as children are humble, women themselves are children, which certifies the fact that they're humble, that's their humanity to be humble. The childish mind will turn to noble ambition, sheep getting iron boots in Ocarina of Time. And women no face, literally just huge smile or wide smiling lips. And so here's a study to prove it. Another stop and read for to check out. Men super curly hair, 4C type hair, too manly. Uncomfortable hair syndrome. We have so we got black hair all the way to this hair. The shape of the hair shaft is altered. Instead of having a cylindrical, round shaped, it has a triangular heart-like or flat cross section. Because of the angular opposite of round shape of the hair shaft, the hair will not lie flat, causing the frizzy look. Women's hair is one huge dreadlock. Albino skin color, too manly. Dark skin and black hair, too manly. Okay, more stop and reads. I'm sorry. Women's attraction to men with darker personality traits. A total of 2,370 adult female volunteers were shown two sets of computer simulated men's faces, one of which had more or less dark triad traits than the other. Women were asked which of the two drew them the most. The results showed that most women were attracted to men with features associated with the dark triad personality. These women, in turn, have a higher chance of reproducing, further confirming the biological aspect of the attractiveness of men with darker personality traits, according to the Daily Telegraph. So now we're looking at proof for that men are attention-seeking, validation-seeking, people-pleasing, and all these traits. So Gregory Lewis Carter of the University of Durham conducted a study of 178 young women who are presented with two character profiles, a dark triad, DT, and a control. DT descriptors included a desire for attention, admiration, favors, and prestige, behavior that was manipulative, exploitive, deceitful, and flattering of others, a lack of remorse, dubious morality, insensitivity, and cynicism. The dark triad makes them attractive. Research shows that they are predominantly men, even across cultures, and demonstrate more sexual success than their peers. So the dark triad traits that women were attracted to were just all of the masculine traits here. So the curly hair, well, these ones were extras though, but all the other ones, yeah, those were the traits that psychologists say women were attracted to. The deep set eyes, the angular nose, solid and defined jaw, and the large skull. So, and then I have a little bit more proof that women in general are attracted to these traits. Plus the extras like the literal baby, like the the hard adult face, the eyes being straight, the super curly hair, the albino skin, or dark skin and dark hair.
Well, the first thing is I think bad boys are the most good-looking ones, so that's always helpful. And
Fuck around. What I'm starting to figure out is every guy that I attract all look like criminals.
Is that your type, would you say?
I think so. Like they all look like criminals.
So what is it about these criminals that's so attractive?
I don't know. It's something about a that look like he on his way to jail that just gets me. Like I don't know.
You know what really kills me? It just really kills me how the man you like don't never be trying to compliment you. Don't never acknowledge how beautiful you look. Don't never be hyping you up. Don't never do none of that. But the men who you don't even give the time of day to, the men who you could care less about, they be your biggest supporters. All in your DMs. Hard eyes, you look good. You know, like why is it like that? I hate men, like for real.